Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on GalaGames. Today's update is going to be extremely quick. I really want to update you on one thing I see playing out in the lower time frames. Now, for Bitcoin, we've obviously broken to the downside of this diamond top formation recently. Things are looking like we're about to get continuation for Bitcoin. If you want to know more about why I think Bitcoin's getting continuation, be sure to check out the Bitcoin video, which I will update a little bit later on today. But what's happening for GalaGames? Now, since our last video on GalaGames about 6 days ago, we were warning that we were getting ready for further continuation to the downside. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago, we were trading around about 4.3 down to 4 cent. We have broken down significantly since then. If we do look at what's happening on the 4-hour time frame, we beautifully hit the price target, which we predicted. This was the rising wedge price target at 3.8 cent. We hit this, and what did we do? We bounced up to the EMA ribbons, retested these as resistance. We broke down, made a lower low, retested the floor of the bull market support bands. We had a bounce, and right now, as of the time of recording, we're retesting the 4-hour EMA ribbons, and it's looking like we're about to get a rejection and break lower. The same is happening on Bitcoin. Since we broke to the downside of this diamond top formation, we've had a beautiful retest right now of the 4-hour EMA ribbons. The same is currently happening for the S&P 500. We're retesting the 4-hour EMA ribbons. So a lot of the markets are looking like we're getting ready for a further break to the downside. Now, as we've hit this price target over on GalaGames and we've bounced from the bottom of the bull market support bands, the only thing that I really want to keep my eyes on right now is this channel that we are currently forming. We are forming a downtrending channel for GalaGames right now. I don't personally have my eyes on any trend lines for this. I do just want to highlight, if we clear up this chart, we're obviously religiously getting battered, making lower lows and lower highs every time we touch the EMA ribbons. What I found interesting about this is if we draw our fib from our high down to this low, we bounced up and retested the 786 Fibonacci. From this high down to this low, we bounced up and retested the 786 Fibonacci. From this high to this low, almost tapped the 618 fib. From this high down to this low, 786 fib and lower. From this high down to this low, we came into the golden ratio just above the 0.5 and went lower. From the most recent high down to this low, we retested the 786 Fibonacci. Literally, in the past hour, we pushed up to the 786 fib and we retested this. And this is also in beautiful confluence with the 4-hour EMA ribbons for Gala. So it's looking like Gala has just had that retest. In my opinion, if I was trading GalaGames, which I'm not, now, in my opinion, would be a great time to start setting up for some shorts. Low leverage, of course, as we have been breaking down for the past few days. I personally don't trade GalaGames. I don't trade low market cap altcoins. That's just me. I personally trade, Bitcoin, the S&P 500, and other high market cap altcoins, like maybe Solana. Personally, for me, GalaGames is not something I trade. I notice a lot of the time, one announcement comes out and boom, technical analysis out the window. We have a face tear to the upside or the downside. So I don't personally trade this, but in my opinion, the technicals are pointing for another move back down to lower price targets for Gala. We obviously do have the base of this rising wedge at 3 cent, which from where we are right now is about another 24% drop to the downside. So this is currently what I'm predicting for GalaGames. If we head over to the higher time frame, just to give you a quick update, on the daily, we are also retesting, like we said, the bottom of these bull market support bands. This is why we've had a bounce in the past 4 hours today. This is why we're up in the green today. We broke down, tested the bottom of the bull market support bands and had a bounce. On the 4-hour time frame right now, we're retesting the EMA ribbons, but don't be surprised if we push up a tiny bit higher. I do think kind of around about 4.1 cent is going to be the max pain level for the bears, where we might retest the EMA ribbons one more time before heading back down to the downside. Of course, our higher time frame analysis, this swing failure pattern is beautifully playing out. We had a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction. We've now had a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction on the range high swing failure pattern. Retested the top of this. We are heading back down lower. So really everything we've been discussing, moving down to the downside, seems like the most likely course for Gala. Weekly time frame, we're actually seeing a bearish divergence right now, because what we've got is we've got the price action heading down to the downside in the past few weeks. So we've got highs in the price, we've got highs in the price right here, but the oscillators are actually pushing up higher right now. So at least over on the stochastic RSI, it's pushing up higher. So we are seeing a form of bearish divergence playing out right now. Stochastic is sitting at 68, the MFI is sitting at 60 on the weekly, and the squeeze momentum indicator is just starting to tick into dark green, indicative that a new bearish trend may soon be taking place for GalaGames. So we're still in bullish territory according to the squeeze momentum indicator. This is of course because we've had a most recent bounce and we are rounding off, and it looks like Gala is setting up for a major move back down to the downside. A couple of other macro updates before we wrap up the video. Like I said, higher time frames, we're beautifully continuing with this analysis, which we have been discussing on the channel. The Heiken Archies on the weekly are starting to flip red as well. And what's actually so beautiful about this is if we look at the stochastic and we look at the MFI, we've actually got 3 lower highs while the squeeze momentum indicator, while the stochastic and the MFI are pushing up. So we've got some strong bearish divergence playing out on the weekly time frame. Heiken Archies are bleeding out right now. Gala BTC is continuing with the breakdown like we've been predicting. Another 35% drop, and Gala will be making new bear market lows against its Bitcoin pair. Be very careful if you're buying altcoins or if you're DCAing Gala right now. This has been getting slaughtered against the US dollar. And if you're buying GalaGames, if you're DCAing every single dip, you need to understand you're taking on a ton of extra risk instead of just DCAing Bitcoin. This is a bear market after all. Altcoins do not perform well against Bitcoin. Look at how Gala is performing against Bitcoin right now. At some point, it will be nice to pivot back into this, but for now, it's 90% down against its Bitcoin pair, and it's likely to break down into new lows very, very soon. Higher time frames, of course, our Elliott wave theory is beautifully playing out. I think this is the final A, B, C for GalaGames before we do have our bear market lows. And of course, bear market low price targets. We've got Fibonacci pairs and psychological targets all the way down at 1 cent. This is really what I've got my eyes on in the immediate short term, my friends. So for today, that's really all I wanted to talk about. Also, pretty much your last line in the sand right now is this 618 Fibonacci. If we remove the drawings from our Fibonacci low to high from the bear market lows, we bounced on the 618 Fibonacci, and then we proceeded to break back up higher, but then we made a lower high. So when we look at our high down to our low, we rejected from this 618 fib. So Gala is currently trapped in a range, deciding whether we're going to break lower or whether we're going to break higher. To the downside, since the most recent move, we got rejected from the 618. But to the upside, if I be even more conservative and draw it down to where it more or less looks like we bounced, we have held this as support previously. So Gala is between a rock and a hard place. We have a crucial decision to make for this market. If we do proceed to break higher than this 618 Fibonacci, higher than 5 cent, in the immediate short term, I may have to pivot into a slightly more bullish stance. But if we do break beneath 3.2 cent and flip this as resistance, this 618 fib is going to be the decisive factor letting us know that GalaGames is going to head down to these bearish price targets we have been discussing on the channel, and 1 cent will soon be inbound. For today, my friends, that's all I've got. Lower lows, lower highs, rejection from the 4-hour EMA ribbons, and of course, the immediate short term price targets at 3 cent look like they're coming very, very soon. For today, my friends, that's all I've got. As always, if you do enjoy my content, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, click the join button and become a member today. Follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy. But I'll leave it here. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I am out, my friends. Peace.